So they are building more and more settlements in the West Bank. In the last 2 years, they confiscated around 25,000 dunams, which is half of what they confiscated in the last 30 years. This is how they are speeding up settlements, expansion, and land confiscation.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Michael Spath, and I'm the Executive Director of the Indiana Center for Middle East Peace in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We're a voice of conscience for peace, justice, human rights, and intercultural encounter. I'm also on the board of Friends of Hebron with Issa. I'm also on the board of ICAHD USA with Issa's Nobel Peace Prize nominee, co-nominee, Jeff Halper. We've asked Issa to give us an update on his work in Hebron, the obstacles, harassment, and ongoing violence he and his other co-workers are facing in Hebron, the South Hebron Hills, and throughout Palestine, and his charge to us as his friends and supporters. And we're asking you to be generous in your continuing financial support of his work through Friends of Hebron. My fellow board members, Maya Garner and Doug Thorpe, will be providing information in the chat about how you can contribute in real time to Issa's work, and they'll be on the call a little later on to do that verbally. Issa Amro is a multi-awarded human rights defender in Hebron, the founder of Youth Against Settlements, and among the other accolades, he's been called a Palestinian Gandhi, and with Jeff Halper, was a 2025 Nobel Peace Prize nominee. Issa, we want to turn it over to you now for a brief word about what's happening in Hebron and the surrounding area, and all that you and Youth Against Settlements are doing. Issa, welcome.
All over West Bank, thousands of olive trees were not picked this year because of the Israeli military orders not to allow Palestinian farmers reach their land. Many other Palestinian farmers resisted that, and they reached their land, and they were attacked by settlers and attacked by soldiers. So this year, it was a big challenge. The Israeli settlers and the Israeli soldiers to pick the olives. So we had our own olive harvest campaign, which we plan every year, and we ask all our friends and supporters, Palestinians, Israelis, and international, to to participate in the olive harvest. But the situation is really hard and is crazy these days because of settlers' terror all over West Bank. They just announced to establish 19 new settlements in the West Bank, the Israeli government. Two of them are in Hebron, one in the northern part of Hebron, and another part is in the southern part of Hebron district. That means more and more settlers are attacking attacking Palestinians. It means more violence, more division, and more fragmentation. Since October 7th, 2023, hundreds of Palestinian homes were destroyed. And the settlers, they opened more than 114-kilometer long roads in the West Bank. Many of them are illegal even according to the Israeli law. They used to start to establish around 5 to 7 outposts. Outpost means it's illegal. It's settlements which are illegal according to the Israeli law. We know that all settlements are illegal according to Geneva Convention, Article 49. But in Israel, they sort settlements as legal, which got approval from the Israeli government, and illegal outposts, which didn't get an approval. This year, they approved around 50% of the Israeli illegal outposts, and they are trying to, what they call it, whiten them, to approve more and more illegal settlements. In the last 2 years, they are establishing more and more outposts, especially in the southern part of West Bank, in the and taking a very big amount of land and farming land, because the army doesn't allow the Palestinians to reach their land. For sure, the settlers come with outposts. So per year they used to establish from 5 to 7. In the last 2 years, it's around 60 to 70 outposts per year. So they are building more and more settlements in the West Bank. In the last 2 years, they confiscated around 25,000 dunams, which is half of what they confiscated in the last 30 years. This is how they are speeding up settlements, expansion, and land confiscation. We never faced the quantity and the quality of settlers' terror. They go to Palestinian communities, they burn, they kill, they injured Palestinians without any accountability. And the majority of the settlers, they are, trained with, and they have arms with them. They have weapons with them, and without any accountability. This caused around 80 to 90 Palestinian communities to leave their communities in the Area C and in the West Bank. In the same time, the Israeli government is not allowing Palestinian workers to reach their work areas in the West Bank and even in Israel, which made poverty rate at highest level in the West Bank, highest level poverty rate. This is crazy, situation. Army raid every day. The Israeli military is raiding Palestinian land, Palestinian city, every day, every night. Soldiers, they go into certain Palestinian communities all over West Bank, not only in Hebron, in Nablus, in Jenin, in Ramallah, in Tulkarem, it's crazy. And they beat up Palestinians, they detain Palestinians, they intimidate Palestinians. People don't know what to do. We were saying that Hebron is the microcosm of the Israeli occupation because of the closed roads, closed streets, the movement barriers, the checkpoints, the settler violence. So what you know about Hebron was moved all over West Bank now. So in Hebron, we have 100 plus movement barriers, more than 20 checkpoints in less than 1 kilometer square. Now, all over West Bank, no one city, no one village, no one community without a checkpoint or a movement barriers. We are talking about 1,000, almost 1,000 movement barriers and gates and checkpoints in the West Bank now. So the West Bank is fragmented. And the West Bank now, with building in E1, it's not connected geographically. So the two-state solution on the ground is not valid. They reduce the amount of water, they reduce the amount of electricity, the quantity of electricity to Palestinians. There is no food security in the West Bank. You don't feel safe in your house. And in Hebron, they are working more and more to take more houses. They took in the last 2 years around 5 new houses. They established for they established on H1 the first time in H1. It's area A, H1 in Hebron, the first outpost. So they expanded the settlements area in Hebron to H1, and now they are planning to take more and more land. A few weeks ago, I just found Israeli settlers with American solidarity groups with the settlements working in my neighbor's land to establish an outpost, to establish a place for the settlers in a private Palestinian uh, uh, land. And when I called the Israeli police and the Israeli army, they were around here, near the settlers. They said it's okay, they can do it. That's the new reality on the ground, that they can do it. They do it, they can do it. They are funded by many American charities. And in last Shabbat Sarah holiday in Hebron, the Israeli settlers in Hebron, via Hebron Fund, it's an American charity, collected almost $1.5 million to support the Israeli settlements in Hebron, only in Hebron, even inside Hebron, around me, here, around my house, around the people here in Talromeda. So people now, they are really need help. They need support. They need, visible solidarity actions. I know what you do is amazing, and people here, they appreciate it. Every tweet, every post, every protest, every lecture, every movie screening is making a difference for us. This is something very, very important, that it makes huge difference for us. And we in here in the Friends of Hebron and Youth Against Settlements, we are going on with our nonviolence, civil disobedience, our nonviolence advocacy, nonviolence documentation. And in the last 2 weeks, we managed to establish Ahmad's Film House. Finally, we established uh, the cinema. We dreamed to do it, and we did it after 2016 blocks from the Israeli military. They prevented us to do it 2016 and 17, but we continued working. And in the last 2 years, we started working seriously to make it happen. And now the cinema is ready, and we are going to screen Coexistence My Ass on the 25th of December. And the film is nominated, shortlisted to
Yeah.
Oscar. And they will come. Many people are now, calling me to come. So I think we will have a full room on the 25th of December. In the other hand, we continue our help to the families, to the communities, to protect the houses, to protect the community. By we have 8 projects for the women next year to do maintenance for the families. We try to help them with water. We try to help them with electricity, with protecting the houses. We have a surveillance project. We call it counter surveillance. So the families don't feel that they are intimidated and they are alone. So we try to make it hard for the Israeli army and the Israeli settlers to intimidate Palestinians by the surveillance project. So we do our own surveillance project. We continue with our support to the community, to the families, we continue to do documentation. So we give out cameras to the families to continue their documentation. Even we sent cameras to Palestinian communities near Nablus now, in Jordan Valley, in South Mount Hebron, to document as much as possible, because the only way to respond to settler violence is to document their human rights violations by video cameras or by smart devices, and to be awake so they don't surprise you or they don't burn your house. So we have shifts here in our house to protect the house and to protect the community. This is what we do. We do a lot of legal work for sure. We do advocacy. We do the tours. We're going on with our tours in Hebron. So you are all welcome to come to join our tours. We do a lot of media work with the mainstream media. And the last big article was in the Independent magazine in UK. I participated in one of the most important films about settlements. It's called The Settler. It was a BBC documentary made by Louis Theroux. It's very important to watch it. And it's really very important to go on with it. This is something very, very important. So we continue the work. We will never give up. We thank you for your great work, great support, great solidarity. We want you to come to see us and work with us and help us with our work on the ground here. We are calling for people to come to volunteer online or on the ground to do protective presence, to do media, to do networking, to do advocacy, to help the kids to go to school, to support the kindergartens in the community, to support the schools in the communities. So it's the right time to act. It's the right time to show solidarity. It's the right time to support. It's the right time to help. This is what we are doing in the ground. It's very hard. It's very difficult. Nobody is allowed to come into the community from the Palestinian activists. So checkpoints are closed. And ambulance is not reaching. No social life, no services in the area. So they try to make our life impossible. We do actions, peaceful actions, and we are very proud of our nonviolence approach. So we do peaceful action to make the life of the Palestinians here possible. And to be very honest, we are doing that. We are very proud that we are very successful by doing that, and we are doing that because of the help of the help of Friends of Hebron, their support, their passion, their hard work. Mike is great activist, and he's supporting us. And Dog and Maya and Miko and Mary and all the Friends of Hebron supporters and donors and volunteers. They are really helping us to stay strong and firm in the ground. We promise you that we will never give up. We will stay strong. But today we are asking you to help us more, and we want to see your generosity and your concrete actions to make us do another year without any financial crisis or without any weakness, because you give us strength. You are our energy. You are our hope. And really, 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 in the last 2 years, we saw that you are the change makers, and with you we can create the movement to make the occupation costly.
Thank you, Issa. I'm going to get to the questions in just a minute. Just a reminder that our Indiana Center for Middle East Peace, I'll be leading our 19th Solidarity Tour in June, and we'll be spending a full day with Issa in Hebron, and we'll go to his home, and we'll hear from him in person, and also take a look at Shahada Street and some of the other places in Hebron. So if you'd like to join me, Pam, would you please put my email address in the chat for me, please? So that'll be in June 2026. So we'll spend a full day with Issa. And I would just encourage you to check the chat for the GoFundMe page so we can help support Issa's work. Issa, there are a couple of questions. Let me pick up on what you said, and then we'll get to the questions in the chat room. When you were here in April in Indiana, you said that cameras, I mean, you already talked about this, but cameras were the best resistance for the people of Hebron. And you also talked about helping to supply home security systems for the people there. You want to say something about the home security systems as well?
We as Palestinians, we live under the Israeli military law, which means we are guilty until we are proven innocent. On October 8th, 2025, this year, two settlers tried to break into my house, and they broke the lock of the gate. When I saw them, because I was awake, because we do shifts, night shifts to protect, when I caught them, they claimed that I threw stones at them. It means I'm guilty until I'm proven innocent. And the Israeli soldiers, instead of arresting the thieves, arresting the criminals, arresting the terrorist settlers, they broke into my house, to my yard, to arrest me with false accusation from the Israeli settlers who came to attack me by throwing stones to them.
Yeah.
That's the reality. And I have videos for that. That's what Independent UK wrote. last month. How the Israeli military, the Israeli system is protecting Israeli settler crimes and criminalizing Palestinians for being the victims. What protects us from that? The video cameras. The video camera is the most trustful witness for us. And for me, it's one of the best nonviolence tools. We use it a lot to protect ourselves legally. So when I showed the soldiers the CCTV cameras of the house, what recorded that the soldier was helping them, the soldiers were with them, and the settlers tried to break in and they broke my lock and they tried to get into my house with a gun and they threw stones at me. And I didn't throw stones. In the contrary, I only filmed them doing that, shouted at them, called the police, and even tried to call, the soldier who's around, usually near my house. This is how we defend ourselves, Mike, by documentation. The cameras, it's our defense to defend ourselves from apartheid, from the racist system, which is, seeing us as criminals, even though we are the victims. It's happened many times to many families. I tell the families usually, don't tell me the story, show me what happened. Not because
Yeah.
I don't believe them, because the system doesn't believe them. And not only the system, the media, the international media doesn't take our narrative as true till we show videos. So many times with our group, with our help, with our advocacy, with our training for the women, for the kids, we managed to reach documentation of settler violence, settlers terror, army aggression to international media. So this is the tool we use on the ground. This is the tool we want our people to use. This is how we want our people to react. We call it shooting back. Film back. They throw stones, film it. They throw Molotov cocktail, film it. They say bad things, film it. This is the only way how we can increase awareness about the impunity of the Israeli soldiers and the impunity of the Israeli settlers in Israel and outside Israel. And we gave a lot of materials to the ICC, to the International Criminal Court, about the case of settlements and apartheid
Yeah.
in the occupied territories.
Thanks, Issa. There's a couple of questions in the chat room already about two places in Hebron that are well known to those of us who've been there. Give us an update about the Ibrahimi Mosque, and also there's a question about Shahada Street. Will there be an open Shahada Street action in February?
Yes, we will have open Shuhada Street campaign in February, on the 25th of February, which is the Ibrahimi Mosque massacre anniversary. We are planning an open Shuhada Street campaign. It will be called, it will be targeting the Israeli apartheid and the inequality in Hebron. That we say that we are segregated and unequal, to raise awareness about apartheid, about segregation, about inequality, and about settlers' terror. So prepare yourself for Open Shahada Street 2026. Activists are now in training. The activists are now who are calling and sending emails about actions on the 25th of February 2026. It will be a week of actions and activities all over the world. About Hebron, updates of Hebron. The situation in the ground, it's really hard. Around the Ibrahimi Mosque, it's crazy. They confiscated more external yards. Now the majority of the mosque outside, it's under the settlers' authority. They revoked the Palestinian authority on the mosque. So now it's in the hands of the settlers. They hired a director from Kiryat Arba on the mosque and the place. And for sure, we know that Abraham is the father of all Abrahamic religion. This site is holy for everybody, But now it's segregated. The roads are closed. There is a new apartheid road. They expanded the segregation, so there is an apartheid road where Palestinians or Muslims they walk on this side, and the Israeli settlers they walk on the other side. Even in the Muslims area, they divided the road with metal. I posted the video on my social media, and around the mosque, the Palestinians from the southern part of the mosque they can't reach to the mosque. It's closed completely. The checkpoint is called Abu Rish checkpoint. The families who live in the mosque area, it's around 60 Palestinian families. They are stuck there. They are kept as hostages. they are from time to time in trouble with the army and with the settlers because they can't have any real access all the time of the checkpoints. They suffer from curfew on Fridays and Saturdays. Curfew as today. The children to go to Al Brahmiya school next to the Ibrahimi Mosque, they were not able to reach the school. The teachers were prevented to reach the school. This is really a crazy situation for Palestinian students that they were not able to reach the exams. Now it's the mid term exams. It's the final exams of the first semester. Children and teachers. I met the teacher outside the checkpoint. The soldiers prevented them from reaching. So high restrictions, measures on the mosque, around the mosque, outside the mosque, and on Shuhada Street. So we call you next year to be part of our Open Shuhada Street campaign, which you will get updates about it as soon as possible.
There's a question, Issa, you kind of hinted at it before, but there's a question about what countries are most of the settlers coming from, and where are they receiving their funding? I know that there are a few funding places in the United States where people can actually give money tax deductible in the United States. And I'm assuming that that's the same around the world. Talk to us about where the settlers are coming from and where they receive their funding.
The settlers, they will come from all over the world, and they have a lot of visitors. Mike, today they have a festival now. They have a lot of money, unfortunately, to bring visitors, to do activities, to do social activities, to do religious activities in the city and around the city, and they're trying to expand the settlement in Hebron. Mainly, their main supporters is an American charities, Hebron Fund
Yeah.
collected last 2 months ago $1.5 million to the settlement. So this is why we ask our friends in the United States to fight that donations, to fight that blind support of many Americans. I know that many Americans, if they know the truth, they will not support blindly the Israeli occupation and the Israeli apartheid. And please, this is very important what you talked about, that there is a lot of American settlers, not only American settlers, American, right-wing activists who came next to my house here 2 weeks ago, and they started working the land to help the settlers, and they say that they want to make Israel great again. This is what they are talking about. They want to make Israel great again. It means that they want to make the occupation great. They want to make apartheid great, segregation and separation and supremacy, because they are supremacists. I talked to them. They didn't care that I told them, you are working in a private land, which I'm responsible about it, and I politely ask you to leave. They refused to leave. They came from the United States to help the settlers to steal our land. So they helped them politically, they helped them financially. A lot of money is coming from the United States charities, and as you said, that it's tax deducted, and that's very bad. And we, the grassroots organizations, grassroots activists, we suffer from lack of donation and lack of support. Sometimes we struggle to stay and exist, and they have extra support and extra attention from many Americans. Many British support comes to the settlers in the West Bank, many French for sure. So I see this is the main three countries where settlers come from and where the support comes from as well.
I would encourage you folks to enter your questions in the chat room. Issa, you were in the United States this past spring, and we hosted you here in Indiana. Um, our fellow board member and your dear friend Miko Peled, his Palestine House of Freedom was to host you here this spring for an extended stay and U.S. tour, and yet now there's a travel ban for Palestinians to the United States. Now, I can't think of. I think it's a broad-based ban against Palestinians. Tell us about American. I mean, you just already talked about it, but American criminal complicity against the Palestinians is egregious.
I was frustrated. I was very sad and disappointed that Trump administration banned me and banned my friends, my Palestinian friends. We have here with us Izzat, Ahmad Al-Azzi, Abu Adel, and Muhannad
Mohammed,
Khafisha next to me. Yes, here. Here's Muhannad and Hatem. They all here staying. They do their night shifts. They do their part of working. I have activists making my room inside. Muhammad Amro, Muhammad Natche, Taimur. Activists still exist on the ground. They don't give up. And the occupation doesn't intimidate them, doesn't scare them, because they believe in nonviolence. They believe in what they are doing. So we used to come to the United States. We were planning to do a big fundraising visits and tours in the United States. And Muhammad and Izzat even were preparing themselves to come to the United States next year because we want to talk to American people. We want to talk to American civil society organizations. We want to talk to our American partners at Commerce who work with us, who help us, who are part of our movement. We want to talk for sure to the American administration, and I did talk to many American, lawmakers, Congress or senators, or even the State Department. With this ban, they want to shut off our voices. They want to suppress our voices. They don't want Americans to hear us. They don't want Americans to know about us. They don't want us to exist at all for them. On the other hand, Israeli settlers, Israeli fascist leaders, they come to the United States without a visa. They have a visa waiver. So the United States is not only suppressing Palestinian voices, suppressing Palestinian movement against occupation and apartheid, but they support and help and boost settler voices, settler activities, and Israeli government fascist leaders. Netanyahu is coming to the United States on the 29th of December. They want to start the new year with a new war. Netanyahu is making the United States, make wars to discredit the international law, to discredit the international peacemaking organizations, to ban Francesca Albanese and, put her on the terrorist list, the amazing Francesca Albanese, or to ban the ICC judges and prosecutors. What is this? It's all because they are afraid of our voices, because they are afraid of our nonviolence resistance, because they are afraid of our existence. But with your help, with your support, thanks to Zoom and online activities, we will stay in touch with you. We will keep our connections with you as part of our global movement against occupation and apartheid. By the way, I'm talking to you, and the soldier is listening from the fence there. He's trying
I
to,
was going
to
to
know. Yeah, this is next to my house, and he's trying to listen. But I don't care. I don't mind. The activists here don't care, don't mind, because we believe in our nonviolence activities and approach. As you pay high price, we pay high price, and we are willing to make the change.
I'm glad that you showed us, Issa, because my next question was going to be to ask you to show us the military outpost next to your house, because those of us who visited you there know that they're right next door and they listen in and they come onto your property and into your home. So I'm glad you showed us that they're right next door across the fence.
Mike, we opened the cinema house on December 2nd. And to open a cinema, it's almost an impossible mission, dude. We were successful on the most restricted part in Palestine. This is the house. It's caged, completely caged. Here, we sneaked in almost everything, even the screen we brought in. We sneaked it in. This is why we did it. The soldiers, on December 1st, one day before the opening, they broke into the house. Settlers attacked us and they tried to burn the house from the roof. And the settlers sent the soldiers and they tried to get in with them. We have videos for that for sure, to prevent us from the opening of our cinema. Cinema. We will, we are showing next week existence, our existence, my ass films, which everybody on earth will be happy to watch. But they don't want that, because cinemas means art. Art means expression, that you express yourself Cinema and art, it means resistance. It means you don't accept the narrative. You can tell the world about what's going on around you. You can watch what's going on in other countries. This is what it means, the cinema. It means a community. It means people together. It means you don't watch together. So we want to bring life back to Hebron. We want to bring life back to Tal Rumeida, to the restricted parts. And for sure, we want to bring life back to West Bank because the Israeli government leaders now proudly saying we are making the life of Palestinians harder and harder to force them to leave. We are proudly saying we are resisting that peacefully. We are staying, we are remaining, we are shouting loud to expose them and make them accountable. And for sure, we will make them accountable and we will never give up. We will keep our struggle till we get our freedom, our justice, and for sure make those fascists accountable according to international law. Because we are international law believers and we want the international law to be implemented on everybody, on Russia, on Ukraine, on the Israeli occupation, on Palestine, on the United States, on Canada, on everybody. There is no at all impunity to anybody who violates the international law.
Issa, I'm going to get to another one of the questions in the chat room, but you reminded us that even though you're not able to travel to the United States, you'd be open, and we have this Zoom webinar right now, but you'd be open to your friends on the call here to invite you for a half an hour conversation with their local community group, with their mosque, with their church, with their book club. You're open to those kinds of Zoom meetings with people all around the world, aren't you?
Yes, we are open to send out our messages. We are open to shout loud from here. Not me alone. Azat is here, is ready to shout. He shouts a lot to groups who come here. Muhammad is here, Hatem, Ahmed Azde, Muhammad Am, all activists here. Or even the women community we work with here. They are ready to shout. They are ready to tell the truth, which the Israeli occupation is trying to hide. This is what Lawrence Wright told me when we were together in a tour in Hebron. He told me, Issa, the soldiers attacked us and attacked me in February 2023 on Shuhada Street when I was giving him a tour, that they told me, this is what they want to hide. They want to hide apartheid. They want to hide segregation. They want to hide occupation. And they want to hide the inequality. And for sure, they want to hide Palestinian nonviolence resistance. They want to hide Palestinian people who are really human beings. So please be in touch with Friends of Hebron, with Youth Against Settlement, with our amazing on social media humans of Hebron. It's amazing on social media and Facebook on Instagram. So we really need your help and support before the end of the year.
I'm going to ask Doug and Maya, one of them, to put Friends of Hebron website as well as an email address. If one of you would like to host Issa for a meeting with one of your groups, please be in touch on that email. And Issa, I'm going to don't keep unmuting yourself, or don't keep muting yourself, because then we have to ask you to unmute. That's the way the settings are. So
got him.
Okay, thanks, Pam. Issa, there's a question in the chat from your friend Linda Jenkins, and then also from Bridget Jensen. You spoke about the importance of cameras to record settler violence, but she says there's other use of the cameras to tell stories and be works of art, such as the project, and I don't know about this one, so maybe you could tell us, the Mother Project. Can you speak
Yes.
about the Mother Project for us?
Yes, for sure. The camera is not only about documentation of the human rights violations. The camera is art. The video cameras and the other cameras, it means art for us. So with our amazing partner, Barbara, she's the woman who filmed me being beaten with Lawrence Wright in Shuhada Street, Barbara. And she's Belgium amazing activist. and we together worked to make a project called means mother. We have 8 women, 8 mothers with their daughters. It's the voice of women, and they made photos of their daily life without any political, affiliated pictures. They did it by themselves. We made a booklet. You can find it online and you can buy it online. And all the profit of this booklet, of these pictures, is going to them, to the community. And this is why we will do with the income 8 projects for the families. We did one. We gave water to one of the family, 2 families, water tanks, and we changed the water system in their homes because water is a big challenge here. To get water continuously, it's a big challenge for the Palestinian families. It was a happy day when we did that project. So thanks to Barbara, thanks to the 8 families in Tal Rumeida, we hope to do another 8 families next year. But it depends on your help and your support to make us continue working on the ground in our grassroots activities.
You talk about the power of young people and the power of women a lot.
Because for me, I was described, Mike, as the Palestinian Gandhi, okay, by New York Times. I don't see that. I see that the Palestinian women in our community, they are the decision makers to remain and stay, not only in Hebron, all over Area C, the targeted areas. The decision to stay as a family in that risky life is the woman. So she resists by existence. The teachers who fight to go to school as today, to teach, they are Gandhis. The Palestinian children to go to school, they are Gandhis. They are all resisting. We resist in our daily routine, in our daily life. Journalists, 250 journalists were killed in Gaza. In West Bank, hundreds of journalists are in Israeli jails or in Israeli blacklists. They want to shut off our voices. So when they do their work, it means resistance. This is the non-violence resistance we talk about by, challenging the occupation, by the civil disobedience, by confronting the occupation every day, by going to the land, by working the land, by going to schools, going to universities. Even the workers, they used to wake up at 4 a.m. to go to their work to earn their life. That means a lot to me and to everybody. So women and children, they are the leaders of our community nonviolence activities and nonviolence movement here.
Issa, really briefly, where can we find the film A Mother?
It's online. Just Google it. And Mother. It has its own website. It's amazing. You can find it. It's not a film. It's many pictures for each family. We will call you to bring the exhibition to the United States because we showed it in Belgium 2 times, in Italy 1 time, in Berlin 1 time. The pictures and the photos and the videos of the women were made by women, by the way, and no intervention from us. We gave them the camera and trained them. Barbara trained them, and the output all came, and we filtered it and we just broadcast it. It's amazing. You can find the booklets. You can find the videos online. It's called Mothers Hebron. You will find it. I can send it to you, or maybe Maya can send it in the chat box.
Thank you. Doug, your friend and friend of Hebron board member Doug Thorpe is asking, say something about the church situation in Hebron and whether you get support from international churches.
For sure, we have really many good, amazing visitors. They come to us, and especially As-Sabil. As-Sabil is doing a great work led by Omar Al-Harami. They bring churches from all over the world to Hebron tours. They are the ones who showed us, real solidarity during the war. They come every week, almost, Mike, to us. That's amazing. And we talk about how we can work with churches all over the world. So in Bethlehem now, it's the Christmas holidays and it's the New Year. Everybody is happy, celebrating. And we are working to do that, and we call our, Christian friends. I always joke. Omar Al-Harami is Christian. Issa Amro is Muslim. I have a Christian name and he has a Muslim name. And we never ask each other, what is our religions? To be very honest, because we respect each other. This is the land of religions. This is the holy land for everybody, for the Abrahamic religions. We have a lot in common to worry about each other, to be equal, to have freedom for everybody, to have protection and security and safety and no racism, no Islamophobia, no anti-Semitism. This is the land of the books. This is the land of the prophets. It should be heaven, not wars and apartheid and supremacy and violation of the international law.
You were nominated with Jeff Halper for the Nobel Peace Prize, and some of your friends, some others thought that it would put a target on your back for your nomination, but you welcomed it and you said it gave you protection. Talk about that nomination with Jeff and what it meant to you.
I'm very proud of Jeff Halper and his nonviolence approach and establishing and leading Israeli committee against house demolition. Now it's international committee against house demolition. His thoughts, his activism is amazing. So I was very happy to be with him and to work with him and to be nominated with him to Nobel Peace Prize. Peace means that me and Jeff live with equality, with love, with justice, with accountability for everybody. This is what we want. This is what it means to win Nobel Peace Prize, that non-violence resistance can be the method to make the change. So Nobel Committee unfortunately chose somebody outside the criteria. Me and Jeff, we were very close to win. It's not about us, it's about you. All of you is part of this win. All of you is part of this nomination because we represent you. We feel that we represent the peace camp. We represent the non-violence camp. We represent the civil disobedience camp. We represent the people who work hard to make the change. We represent the people who are warriors, who are in the right side of history. And nomination means more platform to advocate for free Palestine and for equality and justice and for that non-violence is the method to make a change, and for that we all against anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, or any type of racism.
Um, your friend Don Bryant in the chat reminds us that to use the term even settlers or settlements is probably a misnomer. We should be using the word colonizers and colonies because this is a settler colonial extermination project of the native peoples.
Yes, I agree with him. They are more than colonizers. It's more than colonies, dude. It's even, inequality, injustice, fascism, supremacy, apartheid, occupation. So we should find a new name. Settlement, not settlements and not colonies. It never happened in history that what they are doing to us these days, But, settlements, it's the international law term. Geneva Convention, Article 49. All the settlements in the occupied Arab territories are illegal and it's war crimes. War crimes. So support us to make that costly for them.
We're more than 800 days into this, and it's more than a war against Palestinians, more than a war against Gazans. I've been saying that it's really about, it's not just violence against and ethnic cleansing and genocide against Palestinians. This is about the attempt to erase from human memory the very idea of Palestine. And so we need to have the strongest possible language: extermination, annihilation. That's really what we're talking about here.
Yes, it's not about terms, it's about what's going on. Let's describe what's going on the ground and to make it costly and try to stop it. This is what we should focus on. Terminology should not be, disputed. We should, work together to stop apartheid. You don't believe it's apartheid? Stop that Palestinians are under the Israeli military law and the Israeli settlers next to them are under the Israeli civilian law. Describe it as you want. Call it what you want, but work to end it. Work to change it. Work to make any criminals accountable. Make to work any war criminal accountable. Make to work any violent person accountable. Make to work any supporter of war crimes here and genocide and ethnic cleansing accountable. Let's work and all together and agree that our work makes huge difference. Our work is the change making, not our talk, only our talks or our dispute about terminology, what we call what.
There's a question about you mentioned Jeff Halper. What other Israelis are standing with you in your work? And are you able to communicate with them, be with them? Talk to us about Israeli partners with you.
Unfortunately, the majority of the Israelis voted for the Israeli right-wing fascist government, and even not right, even fascism. Fascism is growing in Israel, and even many Israeli Knesset members, they really, call for ethnic cleansing openly. So the majority of the Israeli Knesset, we are talking about 90 plus seats, support genocide, support transfer of Palestinians, support occupation, no solution, Palestinians should be transferred. That's the situation in Israel now. But we are very proud of our Israeli partners who are working tirelessly to end the occupation, to make the occupation costly, to expose the occupation, to document occupation. B'Tselem is doing amazing work.
Yeah.
Breaking the silence, they are doing amazing work. ACRI, Association for Civil Rights in Israel, Yeshdin is doing amazing work. Many Jewish Center for Nonviolence in South Mount Hebron, they are doing great work. There are many good projects in Israel, but unfortunately they are not. They are minority. But for us, they are great activists, and we are very proud of their great work to expose occupation and apartheid and to make peace here with us. So you know we are not shy to say that we work with them on the struggle to end the occupation.
Thanks, Issa. I'm going to ask you to just hold on for a second and turn this over to Maya Garner, who's the chair of the Friends of Hebron board, and she wants to say a word about fundraising. So hold on, Issa, because we're going to come back to you for a final thought. Okay, but Maya, uh, come on in.
Um, Thank you so much, everybody. I'm sitting here in the upstairs of Asa's house. We're in the city of Hebron, and we're really happy to see so many people join us and to support Asa's work. I want to say that I've been working with Asa for the past 10 years, and he's been, doing amazing work throughout a time of immense struggle, immense hardship. Really, I think he's being really modest about the way he describes himself and the way that he describes the situation. We're just, marking like 2 weeks where we haven't been attacked by Israeli settlers. That's not entirely true. Like yesterday or the day before, they threw a rock at us, but that is unfortunately the situation. There's no protection for Issa. The only protection he has is through international support in the form of people asking the governments to support him, to support the community and protect the community, and also in the form of people who support the organization. So Friends of Hebron, also registered as Working for Peace and Justice, was established as an organization to support ASA's work in Hebron and to support the work of Youth Against Settlements in Hebron. And that's what we've been doing. ASA is also on our board, and he is our executive director. So the leadership is coming from the ground, and the your donation goes toward supporting ACE's work and supporting the projects and campaigns and speaking tours and the protection for the Palestinian community. Now, I want to say that you have the option to donate. Either you can use the GoFundMe link that I've been sending out in the chat. Maybe if you've been following us for a while, you'll see that you've been used to donating through our website. If you can do that, great. But we've heard that some people are having troubles with the website. So if that's the case for you, please use the GoFundMe link. And also, I want to say that we really appreciate the support. And because of that, we have this piece of ceramic that was made in Hebron. It says, على هذه الأرض ما يستحق الحياة, which is a line from a famous poem by Mahmoud Darwish, the Palestinian national poet, that says that on this land is what makes life worth living. And we have a few of these in the United States that we'll be sending out to the 10, 15 top donors of this month, as a way to thank you for your contribution, and also a way for you to have a piece of Hebron in your homes and to keep that with you and hopefully remind you of the people here and of the situation here. And for other people who are donating, at least for those that we can reach, we'll be sending out a little holiday card, which has the picture of Hebron on it, and is a picture that was handmade from the view that you see from Issa's house, behind Issa, or at least the view that you used to see before Issa put up the fences to protect his house. So yeah, I'm just saying that there are a few opportunities to support Issa's work, to support what he's doing in Hebron, because a lot of the Palestinian people, the families, rely on him to help, strengthen their resilience, to help protect them from Israeli settler and soldier violence, and to help, make the community alive again with the occupation's effort to try to shut it down and to shut down life in the area. And that's it. Yes.
Maya, thank you very much for that. Doug, you're on. Would you like to share a word? And then we'll turn it over to Issa.
Yeah, thanks, Mike, and thank you, Maya, and of course, thank you, Issa, for the extraordinary work that you're doing. And please, I just encourage people to take this opportunity to support the work of Issa financially, and any way that you can. Again, it's his visibility that matters. And Mike, forgive me for this, but I want to make a plug for your trip, because I've been on those trips, and they are the most powerful, most informative trips I think that anybody runs over there. So I think the information is in the chat about that, and I just encourage folks to take advantage of it, not just for the opportunity to spend time with Issa in Hebron, but for all the folks that Mike will be visiting. So thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Doug. So Issa, your charge to us, your thoughts for us as we close today.
Yes, I want to thank all the people today who joined our fundraising event. I want to thank all the activists and friends and the supporters who donated money today and who are going to donate more in the future, who will help us more and more to stay strong and firm on the ground. What I will say that we are winning. We are almost there. We are making the occupation costly. Help us to make it costly more and more. We promise you that we will never give up to protect the land and to protect the narrative here. And we will never shut off our voices we will never stop talking and shouting and doing activities on the ground. And I want you to promise us to continue your great, amazing solidarity. We are very proud of you. We love you and we thank you for being in the right side of history and for being with us and supporting us. And your activities and actions really makes huge change on the ground and even in your countries.
Well, Issa, you're modeling for us the kind of courageous and creative resistance helps us to resist here, but also is a call to us to further stand with you in your resistance to this brutal ethnic cleansing, genocidal agenda of Israel. So thank you. And on behalf of my fellow Friends of Hebron board members, and of course on Issa's behalf, we want to thank you for joining us today. We're wishing you a holiday season and a new year with a renewed commitment to our work together for justice and peacemaking. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And Issa, thank you very much.